Featured video on Patterns in Chaos this morning is a sort of oldie that I took another look at today. And it really resonates with my work in a sort of unexpected way, I guess, when I look at it now. And when it was released back in the 80s, I doubt I would have really understood what the meaning of this song was. Of course, this is assuming that I now have a somewhat better interpretation of what it actually means. And I think it has to do with the nature of machines. It has to do with the nature of the relationship between humans and machines. And, you know, as labeling myself this sort of techno shaman, I've sort of put myself in this position of sort of acting as an interface there. And I think it's funny. I think it's really funny looking at this video from AC/DC that I wasn't really into. I didn't really have an attraction for their music back then. But looking on it now, it's kind of funny. It's kind of interesting to look at it and see what they were thinking back then. And there are several lines in that in that video, that in that song that just really resonate with my work now. And I'm looking at it, how well it's held up. It's sort of a masterpiece, you know. And who knew? Who knew? I guess a lot of people did. It was a really popular song. And, you know, I'm thinking about myself back then, which, you know, like I said, that wasn't really my set. It really wasn't my scene back then. And it still isn't. I don't consider myself a metalhead. But the direction that I've been going with the Soldiers of the Future soundtrack, which is, by the way, coming really well. I had no idea that I had this in me. And I feel like it's just kind of flowing through me, which is cool. I mean, it's a great thing. And I feel like I've learned a new language, the language of music. And I'm noticing that my styles in the songs are very different styles, depending on what I'm trying to say. And right now, I'm really resonating with this Back in Black song, Who Made Who? Who Made Who? Because I'm dealing with this relationship between the things that motivate us, the things that sort of push our buttons, the things that are the parts of ourselves that are more like machines that we don't really understand necessarily on some level, but that might be part of a plan that we don't always see. And so that's a very exciting thing from the perspective of being sort of one of these creators or one of these conduits for this understanding and information. You know, one of the conduits into our world. And so that's where I am right now. There's 4 more songs besides the 2 that I think I've put up already that I've more or less laid down the lyrics and the music for. And there are 15 so far that I would like to write for this soundtrack. I suspect that the number of songs is going to grow. And I don't know if I'll be able to pour them out as easily as I have the ones I've done so far. But I'm looking forward to finding out. It'll be interesting to see.